It is with great pleasure that I join you all at this event as we celebrate 25 years of Forum for African Women Educationists, FAWE Ugandan chapter. FAWE Uganda has facilitated thousands of girls and boys with a ratio of 70 to 30% to access and complete their education cycles at all levels of education.
I've been struggling with studies on and off as I have to drop up and look for money for pay my tuitions. I reached the point of going up to Sudan, work there for 2 years and come back, start again, but I've been dropping out. Since 2012 up to now, it has cost me 10 years to achieve a goal of only 4 years. Help me and allow me to be among the girl child you're supporting so that I can achieve my goal.
I was asking why we should let such girls, not get the opportunities that they need. Let's give her the most delicious dessert, and not just any dessert, but the one that will keep giving. Let's give this child, this vulnerable girl or children, an education. Together we can make her dreams come true.
And as we celebrate 25 years, as we fundraise, let's be generous in our contributions. There is no small contribution. If we are committed, we can sponsor 2,000 girls. I will contribute some small amount of money to a tune of 5 million towards this cause. Thank you so much.
If we are going to see real development in the world, then our best investment is women. I would like to take this opportunity to urge all of us to be more deliberate about girls' child education.
Already this is over 47 million shillings, pledged cash and everyone. So give yourselves a huge round of applause.
Almighty Father, I'd like to thank you for the gift of this special day today. We thank you for the gift of FAWE Uganda. We'd like to praise you for all that you have allowed FAWE to do for our youngsters, for the nation, for education, and for everything. As we sit together for this dinner, to give a chance to the girl child, Lord, would like to pray that you bless all the activities of FAWE Uganda, bless all the staff, bless the administration, and all those who wish FAWE well, all those who wish the girls well, so that everything may be done for your greater glory and done for the nation. We pray all this in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Welcome to this Silver Jubilee celebration for FAWE Uganda.
I think that's okay, that applause is okay, but we now need a 25-year, celebration, okay? So can we do it once again? Congratulations to FAWE! Yeah.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Imperial Royale Hotel today for this beautiful celebration. My name is Crystal Newman.
My name is Brian Mlondo, a beneficiary of FAWE by marriage.
By marriage? Yeah. Through marriage?
Yeah,
so
I'm here seriously.
This is very personal.
Yes, this is personal.
But before we get into the meat of the celebrations, I think it's only right we welcome someone to make the official welcome remarks. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the board chairperson for FAWE Uganda, Dr. Christine Oryema.
Good evening. Are you happy? Yes. I have to say that I'm so overwhelmed to be here myself, but I'm so grateful that all of you managed to come here. All of you managed to come here safely amidst the jump that we had in Kampala. And it's the reason we are saying we apologize to those who came late, who came early. We were trying to wait for those people who were caught up. Our chief guest, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Community, in absentia, Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadega, distinguished government representatives, embassies, the private sectors, the regional FAWE secretariat, and all its chapters who are here, the FAWE Uganda partners, the FAWE Uganda Board of Directors, Executive Director and staff, the entire FAWE Uganda Alumni Fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I join you all at this event as we celebrate 25 years of Forum for African Women Educationists, FAWE Ugandan chapter. First, Please join me to welcome our chief guest. Our chief guest, thank you for making time of your busy schedule to join us as we celebrate this commendable milestone, which is the 25 years of FAWE Ugandan chapter. A warm welcome to all the guests, and I thank you all for having taken time out of that, out to attend this occasion. This is a very special occasion. It is a matter of great pride to see an organization growing, an organization like this one, FAWE Ugandan chapter, and achieving more each passing day. We are achieving more. On this auspicious day, from the bottom of my heart, allow me to thank the great ladies and the founder members of FAWE Uganda. The founder members of FAWE Uganda, we do appreciate you all. Maybe at this time, we could see them if they are here by show of hands. We have to appreciate you greatly. They worked, yeah, you can see the ladies, okay? They are standing there. They are the reasons, that's why we are here celebrating 25 years ago. They worked against all odds to actualize the dream so as to improve girls' and women's education at different levels of society. Thank you so much. It is because of your passion for the girl child that we are here 25 years later. Big appreciation to our funding partners for believing in the cause and supporting our efforts of creating a more enabling environment for the young people to thrive. Partners, we appreciate you, without which we wouldn't be up to here in 25 years. Partners all, we do appreciate. The government of Uganda, through the ministries, the Ministry of Education and Sports, and the Ministry of Gender, Labor, and Social Development. Our appreciation goes there too. Partner institutions which are here, we appreciate you. Agencies, FAWE Regional Secretariat, with its various chapters, FAWE Uganda members, and individual partners. Appreciation goes to you. Allow me, in a special way, honor our guest of honor for being a champion, and that is the Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga in absentia, for being a champion in supporting girls' education. You've not only provided generous support to FAWE Uganda, but also been a voice for young women, not only in Uganda, but on the global scene. We reiterate our appreciation for walking the journey with us. I thank both the present and ex-members of staff that have worked hard to help this organization to the journeys of success. Members of staff, we appreciate what you are doing, which is now even witnessed here. The girls and boys that have gone through the gates of FAWE Uganda, by celebrating this 25 or 25th year of operation, we are celebrating you, celebrating your success and your stories of transformation. Alumni, you are welcome. We appreciate you. 25 years ago of existence is no mean feat. A legacy of excellence categorizes FAWE Uganda's effort in Uganda and even beyond. True to its unique selling point which is to keep an inherent focus on girls and women's education, training, and development, all the while not losing sight of boys and men. FAWE Uganda has left an indelible mark in the spheres of access to quality education and training. FAWE Uganda appreciates that support to girls' education requires more than just tuition. Requires not just tuition. That is why we provide other school-related costs, material, and especially psychosocial support, mentorship, and role modeling. FAWE Uganda involves the boys and men because we believe in inclusiveness and a society that caters for all. Inclusiveness and a society that caters for all. Men, we've not excluded you. If you are there, clap. FAWE Uganda involves the boys and men because we believe in inclusiveness and a society that caters for all. FAWE Uganda has facilitated thousands of girls and boys with a ratio of 70 to 30% to access and complete their education cycles at all levels of education. When you go down, you're able to find out that. FAWE Uganda has been instrumental in giving dropout school girls exposed girls to sexual violence another opportunity and second chance to go back to school and attain an education. The goal is for women to have income, security, decent work, and economic autonomy. Our chief guests, ladies and gentlemen, FAWE Uganda carried out a study. The study was on the situation of and impact of COVID-19 on school-going girls in Uganda. From these findings, it was clear that the situation of the girl is still there, and the battle towards ensuring that vulnerable girls receive an education is one that everybody needs to be a part of. Family systems have clearly failed the girl, as it is these same close relatives that are abusing them. When the call for the second chance education was made by UN Women, I was saying the family systems have clearly failed the girl, as it is these same close relatives that are abusing them. When the call for the second chance education was made by UN Women under the Spotlight Project prior to COVID-19 pandemic, 3,300 girls applied, and only 1,500 of these were selected. And more so, only 500 attended and completed school. This goes to show that the need is bigger than what we have done, and we need more people to come on board and support our efforts. I would like to thank European Union and UN Women for funding these initiatives. Thank you so much. We are gathered here tonight as a way of furthering the second chance agenda, to raise awareness on the vices meted on girls and to raise funds to send back at least 2,000 vulnerable girls to school and complete their education. The responsibility to educate the girls is ours, not for only FAWE Uganda. It's our what? Our responsibility collectively. As I conclude, I congratulate FAWE Uganda for this extraordinary anniversary. As we celebrate the achievements attained, it is also the time of summing up and planning for the future, because he who moves not forward goes backward. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we pledge to continue being supportive and to help whenever necessary. Let us look forward to another 25 amazing years together with a strong professional partnership so as to continue breaking barriers to the girls' future through education. As we all took time to be here to celebrate the fantastic 25 years gone by, let us stand eagerly to the years that lie ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a part of this special day and for making our Silver Jubilee anniversary more memorable. Thank you for listening to me. Enjoy your evenings. At this time also, I would like to introduce the members of the board of directors. Please, can you stand up and you introduce yourself? My name is, I am called Dr. Christine Oriema. I'm a senior lecturer at Gulu University. I am the current board of directors, a chairperson board of directors. I also send apologies from my former board of director, Miss Margaret. She got a challenge, and she told me to send her apology to you, but she said she's with us in spirit. Board members, please.
I am Auma Jacqueline, a businesswoman, a chairperson of the alumni, and their representative on the board.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Christina Piotr Kudi. I'm the vice chairperson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jacqueline Kaija. I'm a former FAWE beneficiary, and I'm also a board member.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Susan Nasuna Mwanga. I'm a member on this board representing the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, specifically the Gender and Women Affairs Department.
My name is Deborah Vasekanacho. I'm a board member and also the headmistress of Wanyange Girls Secondary School in Jinja. I am very passionate about girl child education.
Yeah, at this point, I was requested through here. We have talked about girl child or girls who are still having bigger challenges outside there who require our support collectively. Madam Edie, I request that you let in such a girl to appear here, and we are giving her only 3 minutes to say what she has for us, or unless she has a time later. Come and advise quickly. Is she here? Yes. Please come and tell us your story in 3 minutes, a minimum, and not more than 5 minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very pleased to stand before you here to talk today. I'm by the names of Bianyi Mawini. I'm a UCU student, School of Medicine. I joined this year. I'm in my 2nd semester. I would wish to call for everyone, the members of FAWE, to be on my side, because it hasn't been easy for me to reach at this point. I've been struggling with studies on and off as I have to drop up and look for money for pay my tuitions. I reached the point of going up to Sudan, work there for 2 years and come back, start again, but I've been dropping out. Since 2012 up to now, it has cost me 10 years to achieve a goal of only 4 years, because I'm still in my 1st year. It is really a big challenge because my parents can't afford to pay me, so I have to work for myself. And because of me, my family is in chaos. Like, I was not meant to continue anymore for this semester. So my mom tried to sell almost everything, including the food stuff at home, which had made a lot of chaos. And my siblings, they're not happy. They're saying I should leave school because if I'm not educated, it won't stop the world to go on. But I'm really requesting people, please help me and allow me to be among the girl child you're supporting so that I can achieve my goal. I also want to be a good woman in future. I really request for your help.
Thank you so much. I don't want to take much time here. This is just one is just one of the many girls that always approach FAWE Uganda. So thank you very much. Collectively, we shall achieve. Thank you.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the board chair for FAWE Uganda, Dr. Christine Onyema. Thank you so much for coming up here, for sharing a bit about your journey. So I'm asking that you give them a chance, give her a chance as much as possible. And there's so many ways that you can actually contribute today. So we do have some raffle prizes for you, ladies and gentlemen. We do have our ushers. They'll be coming around table to table. And you can buy raffle tickets for 10,000 shillings. Each raffle ticket is 10,000 shillings. Now, just by getting that raffle ticket, you could win a weekend for two at Brevard Sands Lodge in Kalangala. Have I got your attention now? I know I do, huh? Or you could win a weekend for two at Garuga Country Resort. So ladies and gentlemen, 10,000 shillings. Please buy as many raffle tickets as possible to increase your chances. Now the ushers will be coming to your tables with pledge cards as well. So if you feel you want to give quietly in your own capacity right now, you can start making phone calls to friends, to family, say, what can we do together? Please give with all your heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite the Executive Director of FAWE Uganda to come and speak to you. That is Susan Opok Tumsime.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming to this dinner this evening. Thank you for honoring our invitation. We are delighted, we are happy, and we celebrate. It is 25 years of FAWE Uganda. It is 25 years of enhancing girls' education. So before I speak, I would like to call Mrs. Martha Muwezi, the CEO of FAWE Africa, to say a word. Martha, please.
I don't know what I can do to make everybody smile. I don't know what I can do to make everybody happy. Can we clap for ourselves? Because we are celebrating. And when you're celebrating, it's the smile that tells that one is celebrating. So again, thank you, Susan, for giving me the opportunity to say a word or two. I stand on the already existing protocol, and I want also to express my gratitude to be here, and also to thank each and every person that has turned out today. Walking a journey of 25 years is not a mean achievement. And I will say something about FAWE before I say something about FAWE Uganda. When we talk about FAWE Uganda, we are talking about one of the great chapters that represents today the 34 chapters that we have in Africa. And if we think of what FAWE Uganda is doing, the impact that has been created by FAWE Uganda, if we multiply that impact by 34, we are getting a very big impact across the African continent. And that, thank you, that goes back to the founding members of FAWE Africa. FAWE Africa is headquartered in Nairobi, and it was founded by 5 great women who in 1992 were among the few female ministers of education. And when they founded FAWE Africa, it eventually gave birth to the 34 chapters that we all celebrate today. When we talk about women empowerment, we are thinking of the great work that FAWE has done over the years and continues to do. Allow me to introduce one of my board members, and that's Professor Joy Kwesiga. She's a member of FAWE Africa Board. Thank you. If I don't introduce my board, I might find no job when I go back. So, and also allow me to introduce my husband. I came with my husband, Dr. Muhwezi Murari, and my son, Brian. We have men in the room. I was sitting there with Dr. Matemba, and she made a comment. Allow me to say the comment that she made. That when we are talking about educating women, we don't have to put a lot of emphasis on men, because all these men are getting great women that we have all put effort into. And as we celebrate FAWE, we also celebrate the great women that have fought for women empowerment over the years. Many of us, I remember when I was just graduating from Makerere, there was Akford. And when they talked about Akford, everybody would be thinking about Mrs. Miriam Matembe. It was like they were synonymous. But I want to mention that these are the women that have made men of us. We are what we are because of the battle that women of the kind have played, particularly in fighting for the rights of the women of Africa. And to that, we say thank you and thank you very much to all the great women as we celebrate FAWE Uganda. I know we have run short of time. I was not here to give a speech, but just to say a word. And the word that I've said is a word of thank you. And as we celebrate 25 years, as we fundraise, let's be generous in our contributions. There is no small contribution. And all that put together, we can be able, I heard somebody saying 2,000 girls, and I said yes. If we are committed, we can sponsor 2,000 girls. And as I conclude, in my capacity as Martha, not as the ED of FAWE Africa, I will contribute some small amount of money to a tune of 5 million towards this cause. Thank you so much.
Ladies, gentlemen, the applause to Martha, please. Yes, we can hear that. Thank you, Martha. So, ladies and gentlemen, back to FAWE Uganda. Martha was representing FAWE. She's the big boss, or the boss lady, I should say. So, Martha, thank you. Martha said her husband was here, as well as the son. My husband is also here. Mr. Hannington Tumusime Chibeherere, seated somewhere. There he is. Thank you. Yes, so we respect families, so we have partners. So given that Martha has said the protocol, I would just like to recognize the chief guest. I know that Honorable Kadaga is in absentia. However, she has a representative here in the names of Miss Angela Nakafero, who is Commissioner at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. So with all the protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, warmest welcome to our chief guest and to you all to the Forum for African Women Educationalists Uganda, FAWE Uganda, chapter Silver Jubilee celebrations. Can we clap for these Silver Jubilee celebrations? It is 25 years of enhancing girls' education. And we have with us the girls and boys that FAWE has supported, whom we shall see at some point. FAWE was started in 1997. And as we celebrate, we shall continue to mark and celebrate this milestone, our Silver Jubilee, throughout this year in different ways, pomp and style. And I think we began this with a charity run, as well as the launch by the Honorable Minister of Education and Sports, the First Lady. It is uplifting to see amongst us or amidst us some new partners. WaterAid, you recognize. Thank you for coming. WaterAid, I don't know where you are. WaterAid. UNICEF is an old but new partner. So I also recognize Rosemary and your team. Thank you for coming. We have FAWE Uganda. FAWE Uganda, promoting equality in African schools. I was also once in FAWE or at FAWE. We have UCRNN, Uganda Child Rights Network. Yes, thank you for coming. But we also, amidst us, also have the old partners and friends. We have Oxfam Uganda, IIDC, UN Women, MasterCard Foundation, as well as partners from the varied institutions, especially universities that we work with. Please stand up for recognition. You play a big part in what we are doing. A big round of applause for the university. Thank you very much. Thank you. Our chief guest, your passion and notable effort to groom the girl child precedes you. Well done. We are delighted that you are here with us and can't wait to interact with you in this ever-growing space where FAWE creates and supports the girl child. I would like to share two interesting, thought-provoking sayings. One, life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. This is by Helen Keller. The other is, to the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. This is Dr. Seuss. For the majority of the vulnerable girls FAWE Uganda identifies and supports, FAWE Uganda very quickly becomes their world. That is why FAWE Uganda starts with dessert, girl-child education. Life is too short and unpredictable. A good education enables and acts as a stable springboard. FAWE Uganda strives to give each girl the chance of a lifetime of having access to quality education through which she can better her life, the main course, without therefore ever having to wonder what dessert could have been tasted like, or what this dessert could have tasted like. Why? Why should any girl or child, for that matter, have to be placed in a position where she ever has to wonder what she could have become should she have had a chance to get an education? This young girl, ladies and gentlemen, who was here testifying, is the likes of the girls that FAWE as a whole, that FAWE Uganda deals with. This girl came to FAWE this morning. Before she came, she gave me a call and said that I am at the point of giving up. Should we let girls such as this give up, we will be judged. Armed with an education. So, sorry, I was asking why we should let such girls, not get the opportunities that they need. Let's give her the most delicious dessert. And not just any dessert, but the one that will keep giving. Let's give this child, this vulnerable girl or children, an education. Together we can make her dreams come true. Armed with an education, FAWE Uganda has provided the missing ladder with which one vulnerable child can reach for the stars and beyond. From just being the world, FAWE Uganda is opening up the door to countless opportunities in the wider world to them. and helping each girl to walk out through that door stronger, more resilient, industrious, with higher levels of self-confidence and belief. We have many success stories to tell, and we shall interact with the young people who may be able to tell some of their stories. Providing access to quality education for the vulnerable child is noble, just, and commendable. This is an initiative anyone or organization passionate about the girl child would certainly be proud of. Do you remember Tom Sawyer? How many of us read Tom Sawyer? Mark Twain's most beloved classic award-winning character who courageously, but with hopeful certainty, stretched out the dinner bowl and asked, "Can I have some more?" Asking, "Can I have some more?" We all could do with a little more. And so, does the vulnerable girl child, if only we could give her more, just a little more. I know together we can fill and keep refilling the dinner bowl. The dinner bowl is just in front of you. Shall we fill it up to support the girl child? It is for you and I to fill this dinner bowl. You will observe and agree with me that there are thousands of girls waiting eagerly in the line for dessert, with their outstretched bowls held up. The bowl is held up. This young girl who was here was saying, "Please fill my bowl." Shall we do that? That is why, from the launch pad of our Silver Jubilee year 2022, we are committing publicly as FAWE and FAWE Uganda to step up our efforts. We want the next 25 years to be better, bigger, highly impactful, and with more chefs partnering with us to dish out thousands of bowls full of dessert being eagerly awaited. This is the bowl that we need to be filled up. You and I can fill up this bowl. The already long line of girls just keeps getting longer. FAWE Uganda cannot on its own reach out to all the vulnerable girls it identifies. The dilemma we seek to highlight is that the more FAWE Uganda inadvertently delays action, the bigger the number of girls we may lose to hovering human smuggling cartels, prostitution, early marriages, childhood pregnancy, HIV/AIDS, domestic violence and sexual gender-based violence, child labor, depression, and even to suicide, should they reach a point when they feel all is lost. Ladies and gentlemen, that seems to be the state of many of our young people. Shall we fill the bowl? Shall I be a part of this? It is time to realize that we can act as a united front by continuing to rally behind FAWE's fundraising campaign, codenamed Give Her a Chance. We need to give her a chance. Each child lost affects all of us directly or indirectly. They are the future, and we cannot lose the future on our combined watch. At least, not when we can do something positive about it, within our means and with long-lasting impact. Mark Twain's famous statement, "Can I have some more? Can I have some more?" therefore rings true for FAWE Uganda and FAWE at large. We stand here boldly like Tom Sawyer and say, we can do more, through more, with more, for more girls. And together we can. As we stretch our bowl for more dessert, allow me to recognize and thank all who with foresight, passion, work, finances, time, kindness, and making other resources available contributed to the continued growth of FAWE Uganda. Our patron, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sport, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni, the government of Uganda, through 4 ministers of education from the Ministry of Education and Sports. Thank you very, very much. Our previous and current funding partners, agencies, education institutions like Makerere University Business School, that has always given us scholarships. Thank you very much. Gulu University, Busitema University, Kabale University, and all the other universities here. We know that we have approached you to give us some scholarship positions. Please, the bowl is at the front. Give us some more. We are asking for more. We need more for the girls. FAWE Regional Secretariat, thank you very much for standing with FAWE Uganda as well as all the FAWE's chapters. We have passionate individuals. Our chief guest, Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, Justice Julia Sebutinde, among others. We have Ethan Mussolini. Thank you very much for individual contributions towards the girl child's education. FAWE Uganda members, previous and current, board members, my illustrious predecessors, the 4 previous executive directors, students and alumni, service providers, and all other various well-wishers. Thank you and thank you. You have made the 25 years and we are asking for more. Tom Sawyer is asking for more. I, in a special way, also recognize the management and staff of FAWE at all levels from the beginning, who selflessly work around the clock, sometimes late into the night, or go to far off places away from their families to ensure that our programs succeed. Well done and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, also applaud with me the group of foresighted women led by Dr. Jane Mulemwa, who 25 years ago, armed with a powerful vision that already had caught fire in different parts of Africa, and using their own resources, identified and enrolled the first 30 FAWE Uganda beneficiaries into secondary school. Please stand up for recognition and an applause. Dr. Jane Mulemwa of Partners has gone on to provide education scholarships to over 8,000 children, boys and girls inclusive, to slow their marginalization. We could not turn a blind eye. The current ratio of girls to boys stands at 70-30. Because our mandate is girls, we do 70% girls and 30% boys. Many of our alumni have gone on to live dignified lives while contributing to the growth and development of this country and the global economy. Not only are they equipped with good education, but they are beneficiaries of our holistic model that, among other programs, has on the sexual reproductive health rights issues, which are currently a great challenge in our nation. I request all alumni and continuing beneficiaries of FAWE Uganda to stand up for recognition. We have quite a caliber of young people. Thank you for shining the flag of FAWE. Thank you for being good and for being focused. You may sit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy and proud to present before you, amongst those that have stood up, engineers, teachers, medical workers, development practitioners, leaders, and entrepreneurs nurtured by FAWE. Our alumni can be found contributing in all facets of society. I invite you to freely interact with the alumni who are here with us today. They each have an amazing, riveting story. Our chief guest. FAWE never went unscathed by the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The closure of schools led to increased sexual and gender-based violence, mainly against girls, as was highlighted by the FAWE National Study on the situation of an impact of COVID-19 on school-going girls and young women in Uganda. The report showed an increase in pregnancy rates by 22.5% among the 10 to 24-year-olds in the first 3 months of the lockdown, and a staggering incidence of 366.5% increase among the 10 to 14-year-olds. The overall results of the survey were shocking and in themselves acted as a call to action. You can hear that, ladies and gentlemen, that the 10 to 14-year-olds was 366.5%. And that tells you that our young people are having sex, that our young people are at risk, and especially so if we do not put them in school. We are delighted that the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, with support from UNFPA and UNICEF, in December 2021, launched the Protect the Girl, Save the Nation campaign to engage with communities and the public to address defilement, teenage pregnancy, child marriage, and promote positive parenting. Ladies and gentlemen, parenting, parenting, parenting. FAWE Uganda joined the action-oriented campaign through its novel Give Her a Chance campaign, back to school and re-entry of young mothers into the school setting. Throughout this year, 2022, FAWE has had a series of fundraising activities culminating into this grand dinner. A big thank you to each and everyone that has chosen to be a part of this campaign through your giving. Thank you, and thank you again. May I take this opportunity, our chief guest, through you, to urge the government of Uganda to intensify its broad education for all campaign that will gradually see all vulnerable girls and boys go through its universal education system at all levels. FAWE Uganda is confident that this can be achieved through policy review, advocacy, partnerships, coupled with government commitment and enforcement of legal procedures. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to also shine the spotlight on some of the other activities undertaken by FAWE Uganda that have helped to be front runners in the empowerment of girls and boys in Uganda. We are involved in child protection, research, and advocacy. I stand here to make an open invitation to partners to join us in these critical undertakings. In the spirit of nation building, I invite us all to actively participate in creating a Uganda in which all girls, young women, and also the boy child can lead dignified lives, dignified and productive lives. Let us commit to give her a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of inviting all to stand up and take a much-earned toast. May we raise to our feet, a glass in hand, to be able to toast. Yes, through you, our chief guest, I toast to a Uganda where every vulnerable girl and boy has access to quality education. I toast to all the vulnerable girls and boys out there who still believe and hold on to their dreams. I toast to each and everyone here tonight who has stood up to be counted as a FAWE Uganda ambassador and supporter. I finally toast to all who believe in the Give Her a Chance campaign and have joined hands with FAWE Uganda to fund it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give her a chance. Let's give her the toast. So a toast to Uganda and a toast to everything that we are here for. And let's give her a chance. Enjoy your evening and bon appetit. Thank you very much.
So
that is part of the work that FAWE does. You know, for me, FAWE came to my rescue when I was in S1 at Our Lady of Good Counsel. And luckily, I used to win the entire school. When they did averages from S1 to S6, I was the best. For 6 years from S1 to S6, I was the best in the entire school. And after that, I went to King's College, Buddo, from Our Lady of Good Counsel. Now, I'm speaking, this is Manuela speaking, you people, not me.
Now, this dinner, as we celebrate 25 years of FAWE Uganda, is possible because of so many friends and so many sponsors. So I would like to just recognize some of our sponsors: Crown Beverages Limited, Nation Media, National Council for Higher Education, Lira University, Gulu University, Busitema University, Kabale University, Mbarara University of Science and Technology. Please, clap, clap, clap. Intercom Printers, Britam Insurance, AAR Insurance, UAP Insurance, MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program, Macquarie University. I'm still waiting for people to clap. Thank you. Ginger School of Nursing and Midwifery, PKF Auditors. We have Estella Country Hotel, Stanbic Bank, and Africa Runners Company Limited. So thank you to all the sponsors for making tonight happen. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to invite our keynote speaker to join me. Dr. Laban Musinguzi is a social worker. He currently teaches in the School of Social Sciences at Macquarie University. He is passionate about education of the girl child, yay, and an advocate of gender equality. He's also a researcher with a special bias on education and gender equality, and he's married to a beautiful woman, and together they have 4 children. So please welcome our keynote speaker today, Dr. Laban Musinguzi.
What a privilege and what an honor to be here this evening to speak to fine people like us. As you've heard, I'm called Laban Musinguzi Kasheja. I work in the Department of Social Work at Macquarie University. That's in the School of Social Sciences. And before I begin my presentation, I really want to thank the people who put the sort of documentary where they were showcasing the stories of the beneficiaries. And I noticed that actually one of the beneficiaries of FAWE, if I recall the name, must be Grace Nanyonga, was actually my student. I told her, oh, she's here, yes. And she was one of the most confident students I ever had in class. So FAWE, thank you so much. And I'm happy that Grace is here to also testify. It is a pleasure to be here today at such an important event where we are fundraising for girl child education, you know, under the theme, Give Her a Chance. And I particularly like that theme because it sort of showcases or brings out the whole idea about the centrality of non-discrimination, especially when it comes to education for all, but also education as a potential for empowerment of girls and women to improve the well-being, but also the well-being of communities and nations. I know firsthand the benefits of education, and certainly its potential for empowerment. And also certainly, I know firsthand the obstacles, you know, to such access and what it actually would mean for an individual. At 12 years, I rarely give this story, but I thought it's important. At 12 years, I had just finished my primary 7 in one of the rural schools. You know, if you know a rural school, you know how typical rural schools in Uganda really are. I had passed really well. I had an admission to one of the best schools in Western Uganda, but I couldn't go to that school because I didn't have school fees. So first term, schools opened. My colleagues went to school. I was at home the whole time. Second term, my colleagues went to school. I was at home. Third term, my dad looked around and was like, Laban, I think you are likely to drop out of school. Honestly speaking, I didn't have a clear understanding then of what dropping out of school actually meant. But I was lucky I had a parent who was committed to making sure that his children went to school, whether he had or didn't have. So third term comes, he goes to a nearby secondary school, typical USE school. If you know a typical USE school, you know what I'm talking about. So he goes there, he requests the head teacher of the school to allow me attend school, and I provide labor during holidays. For me, I didn't know what that actually meant. My dad drags me to school and says, Laban, this is what you are going to do. You will study, but during holidays you'll be coming here to slash around the compound, dig around the compound to pay for your fees. I was young. I didn't have much to lose. I said, okay. Third term, I start school. Holidays come, I start digging. I am not lying. You can prove my reports. I was the first student in class, even when I had missed term 1 and term 2. The school continued to offer me that provision until I reached, I think, senior 3 or somewhere there, when one of my older siblings gave me a chance and started paying my school fees until I was able to finish senior 6 and went to university. And as they say, the rest is history. And as fate would have it, I was, as a young man, after school, naturally I was looking for a partner, isn't it? And God brought for me one of the most amazing, beautiful, talented, fantastic woman you will ever find on planet Earth, which I later found she was also a FAWE beneficiary. It is therefore no coincidence that I think when Susan and her team were looking for somebody to speak at such an event, they had no choice but to look for myself. And together with my wife, we have 4 wonderful children, 3 sons and 1 daughter. And I think that is something you should clap for also. Because in this economy, having 4 children is not a what? It's not a joking subject. So we are there. We have a very strong, wonderful family. And we really are very grateful to FAWE for that opportunity. If it hadn't been for FAWE, my wife wouldn't have met such a handsome young man. You look at me, I have glasses, I have probably a bald head. But then I was very few people would say, well, I can't go with this one, So don't look at me and say, how can, Laban say he's handsome? I was handsome then, okay? So she wouldn't have met a handsome man like me. And of course, I wouldn't have met a beautiful woman like herself, and wouldn't have had a wonderful family like we have. And so thanks to FAWE for giving us those smiles. But ladies and gentlemen, It's personal experiences, like those that have been shared, like myself and my family, and as much as my conviction that prompts me to reaffirm what we all know, that education is not just a human right in itself, but also an indispensable empowering instrument for personal growth, empowerment of individuals, communities, and nations. You can reflect on so many examples how beautiful and empowering education can be. Look at its empowering value on securing our livelihood, our work. Reflect on its positive impact on health. Reflect on how education ultimately helps to bridge the inequalities, the gender inequalities between men and women. The list is endless. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm also aware this year, FAWE has been celebrating 25 years of impacting lives, which we all know, or we all call Silver Jubilee, isn't it? And I believe, or probably rightly or incorrectly, that today's event is probably the climax of what has been a year of celebration. And I remember I also took part in the run that I think happened when? A few months back. And my son was among the chief runners. Unfortunately, I haven't seen my son's photo in your digest. So that is a fine. You better put him there because he was given a medal, and I'm sure he would be happy to see himself in this. This is how you begin to empower young men to also become impactful on others. But as we celebrate this 25 years, let's also celebrate the fact that, at least in principle, and also in law or by policy, that education has become universally accepted as a fundamental human right. It's no longer in contention. If you came here to Uganda, our legal and policy documents recognize education as such. Our constitution, for example, look at all the legislations we have. They emphasize education as a right. But I believe these legal and policy documents should not just be mere books in our offices, in our homes, in the libraries of institutions of learning. They should be seen as providing a framework for attaining equality in education. They should be seen as an enduring call to never lower our guard at all times. They should be seen as a challenge to all of us to overcome the barriers that cause discrimination in education. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that Uganda has well-articulated policies and laws on education, many of which are very, very clear on gender equality, a large section of Uganda's population remains excluded from enjoying the right to education and therefore miss out on its empowering benefits. I am a researcher, like you had. So recently I was looking at statistics in some of that are compiled in some of the education abstracts. If you are from the Ministry of Education, you know what an education abstract actually is. And I picked one of the years, just a year before, about 2 years before COVID, and that was 2017. And I only zeroed on primary education. And this is what I found, that in 2017, or 2017, we had a total of about 13.2 million learners in our primary schools. 13.2 million learners. But out of these, only 33% were female. You can verify the record. Only 33% were female, 2017. I said, how can this be possible? I said, let me go further and look at how this is disaggregated. And I decided to look at primary 7. And primary 7 enrollment in 2017 was about 4.7 million learners, the whole country. And out of the 4.7 million, I realized that actually only 7% were females. Look it up. In the P7 in 2017, somebody saying, sure? Yes. And 2017, mind you, is how many years after UPE? These are 20 years after UPE. So we are still talking about 7% of female learners in primary 7. I said, maybe I've looked badly. I said, let me look at P1. When I looked at primary 1, I realized that actually enrollment for girls and boys was 50-50. So there was a 50% girls, 50% boys. So I asked myself, so where is the problem? And I'm sure many researchers here have been asking themselves that same question. If you go to schools, the lower classes have almost the same enrollment, if not more for girls. So what happens when we come to the upper classes? So the fact that majority of those who never go beyond lower primary are actually female illustrates the gender inequalities, but also the glaring failures on our part. On our part as families, on our part as individuals, on our part as government, on our part as civil society organizations. How can we allow this to continue? The other day when we had COVID, I actually told some of the meetings that I attended where I'm always invited to make presentations that actually we risk a reversal of the gains that we have made as a country if we don't do something about girl child education. We will not be hearing these beautiful stories if we don't do something. So we need to rethink the way in which we conceive education. We need to change the way we plan and deliver education programs. But most importantly, I think we need to change and also transform our schools and learning centers to make them accessible for girls, but also make them well equipped to make sure that girls are retained and complete the education cycle. But also, ladies and gentlemen, I am not oblivious of the fact that we have made progress as a nation and as communities. The other day, Makerere was celebrating 100 years. And in one of the graduation ceremonies, I think it must have been this year or last year, the Vice Chancellor told us that Makerere had almost, if not surpassed, in terms of its enrollment and the number of girls that were graduating from Makerere, about by 51%, they were females. And I was like, wow, that's a great achievement. I looked at how the situation was. And I read somewhere that around 1958, or somewhere about, if you went to Makerere University, you would find about 40 students who are female, or about 50, somewhere there, which was about 7% at most. So Makerere has made progress from 7% to now 51%. And that is ultimately because of the efforts and interventions by government. All of us are aware of the 1.5 that some people were actually against, but now we see the fruits. And recently I attended a meeting where they were debating the possibility of scrapping it. This is a challenge for you, ladies and gentlemen. The gains we have made should not be reversed. So despite these gains, I'm also aware, ladies and gentlemen, that women and girls continue to face discrimination and violence that hinders their access and completion of education. I'm aware, for example, that girls continue to drop out of schools due to unwanted pregnancies, lack of school fees, child marriages, and several other forms of sexual violence in schools, unfortunately, but also in communities. I'm also aware that as a country, many of us are not yet comfortable seeing a pregnant adolescent in school. We are also not yet comfortable seeing child mothers return to school. But if we needed a reality check, then COVID-19 provided us with one. The executive director of FAWE Uganda already mentioned the study that was done that revealed the effects of COVID-19 on the education sector, in whichever way you look at it. But we know that COVID-19 ultimately had a disproportionate impact and continues to have these effects on girls compared to the boys. Teenage pregnancies skyrocketed, sexual abuse, violence against girls skyrocketed. Financial stress on homes and households have had a lasting impact. And majority of those that are impacted are girls. So if we are not careful, we are likely to have a reversal, like I already mentioned, in the gains in girl child education as a country. Therefore, I am certainly convinced, and I hope you are as well, that time has come to work together to identify areas that ultimately need to be worked on to ensure that girls not only access, but also are retained in schools. This is important because time and again, it has been proven that investing in girls' education is not only important for equality, it is also empowering. It is critical towards reducing poverty. The stories have been here, we've listened, we've heard, and it is also important towards general improvement on welfare and betterment of communities and nations. As I finish, I want to leave you with a few quotations from some of the most important people around the globe. I'm a very strong admirer of Michelle Obama. I hope you know Michelle Obama. If you don't know Michelle Obama, put up your hand. She once said that when girls are educated, their countries become stronger and more prosperous. And listen to this. Kofi Annan, we remember Kofi Annan, who was the UN Secretary General, right? Once said that to educate girls is to reduce poverty. And the late Desmond Tutu also once said, if we are going to see real development in the world, I'm not talking about development for, I'm talking about, he was talking about real what? Development. If we are going to see real development in the world, then our best investment is women. In concluding, therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to urge all of us, and all of us means government, it means CSOs, it means you and I, in our individual capacities, to be more deliberate about girls' child education. It should be our shared responsibility. And if indeed it is true that education is the one thing no one can take out from you, then, ladies and gentlemen, let us give her a chance. Thank you for listening.
Can we give another round of applause to Dr. Laban? Thank you, sir. And to all the supporting partners, Soroti University, Muni University, Utamu University, Nile Vocational Training Institute, thank you so much, UTC College, UTC Elgon, and also from Karamoja, the Karamoja Mentoring Network, CAMNET. Thank you so much for partnering with us. We are collecting the tickets, but if you feel like, you know, the Holy Spirit is leading you to buy more, please feel free. If you need to call your husband or wife to, you know, to ask, babe, how much can we give? It's okay. I have airtime. I'll give you the phone. We are here to make sure we send 2,000 girls back to school. Hallelujah. Turn to your neighbor and tap them. Hallelujah. Ask them how much is in the wallet. Hallelujah. But before we do that, allow me to welcome one of the finest, indeed the finest comedians in this country, called Tilda. I know they blow, just know this and know me.
My name is Cotilda, and I am a comedian. Okay, on most days I am unemployed, except today. But what is important that we are here to educate how many? 2,000 girls. A big round of applause for FAWE. You know this is important because 25 years of sending girls to school. Do you know how hard it is to help people? Have you ever tried to help any of your village people? You know, you go with your money and you decide to take their kids to a village school. They say, hey, right, it is ours who you take to a village school. Hey, okay. Then you decide, okay, I've come to collect the children and take them to the city. Hey, whose children do you take to the city? So that you go and you sacrifice our children there in Kampala. Then you say, okay, send me the bank slip, I pay the school fees. They say, why don't you give us the money we pay ourselves? You don't trust us to pay fees for our own children, eh? So, to be able to do this for 25 years without getting tired, that is something we have to acknowledge. Because me, I help you once, twice. The next time I tell everyone that one, don't help. But 25 years of consistent putting kids through school, that is a big milestone. And this is the thing about school, many of us don't understand. Uganda is very interesting. At least all of us tried to go to nursery. Okay, past the neighborhood and had nursery people saying. Let us start from, when you are starting the education system in Uganda, A, B, C, right? A is for apple. Is for axe. You people, you really studied under stringent conditions. Axe. Okay, yes. For the ones who went to school in the village, axe. Those of us who went in neighborhood of Kampala, apple. So this side looks like apple. Wama Brian. A is for apple. B is for boy. Village people, boy. My town people, C is for car. Village people, C is for cow. Now imagine that is what you go through in nursery. Then you get to secondary school and FAWE and partners interested in you knowing beyond the alphabet, they change everything you learned in nursery school. They tell you A is for abstinence. B is for be faithful. C is for, like, which curriculum is this now? People, make up your minds. One time somebody was telling me A is for, another one is telling me, but the fact, the work you're doing is very important, and the challenge you're facing, I believe, is because what we have here is not really sex education. In our schools, okay, I don't know now, eh? By the way, this doesn't mean I am old. Age and women do not mix. I will leave this microphone, by the way. So, this is just research, eh? I researched. In our system, this is what happens. We have a chart, and the chart has the reproductive system of a male and the reproductive system of female. And then what we do is to cram the reproductive system. We know the parts: fallopian tube, testicles, ovary. That is what we know. We go and write. That is not sex education. That is science of the body. I think we should get more practical and use things that people can actually relate to. Now that we are, sorry, village people, I haven't found what you can really, let me try with the town people. Like now these town people. Something we can relate to. Instead of showing you the chart, we should tell you there is a USB and there is a computer. When you insert the USB in the computer, you have connected to a power source. And information is going to be exchanged. And there is a possibility of viruses being transferred. We can find more practical ways of doing this. And FAWE, the job you are doing is so big because I know how challenging it is to go through school as a girl for boys as well. But let me start with the girls because I have experienced that one firsthand. When I was going to school, one of the things my father told me, he reminded me where I was coming from. He said, Kotilda, cooperate. Now you are the parents. Say, Kotilda, you are going to school to do what? You people, you had the same father as mine. You are going to school to do what? Go there and do what? Are you hearing me? Repeat after me. And do what? Don't go and befriend boys. That is not what has taken you. When you go there, make sure you get a friend who is a girl who is very bright. Sit next to her and focus. You went to do what? Now, my father did not consider the variables in the equation. He did not think about things which might show up. All he said, sit next to a girl who is bright and focused. He forgot that there is a possibility of the girl being bright and the most beautiful in the class. And that is what happened. You want to know? So, don't worry, I'm here to tell you what happened. So I ended up seated next to the bright girl, but the most beautiful in the class. Have you ever become like Northern Bypass? I was like Northern Bypass. All the cheats would pass through me. I came to study, but when it is class time, instead of copying notes, I am busy passing notes. The notes passed, none is addressed to me. But I'm just express highway. He did not think of that part. While people are taking notes, now I have to, this, Kotilda, pass, I pass. Then I became, when you, the only good thing about being next to beauty, by osmosis, people begin to suspect you to be beautiful. So I had my benefits of working with her, because working with her, people say, as if those girls are beautiful. I say, we are. But so, she was the president, I was as if the vice. You see the thing about being vice, as long as you mind your business, you don't have to do much. Why are you people laughing like you know something I don't know? Is there a vice you know who did that? So that is what I was doing in school, just maintaining the economy, those things. Like, may his soul rest in peace, the late Magufuli. He was there, just doing things right, lifting Tanzania to middle income, refusing lockdown, turning down. He was doing all kinds of things. Our dearest Samia, Her Excellency right now, was just being a peaceful vice president, not knowing that any time variables can change. And that is what happened to me. 1 minute I am there just enjoying. During break time, I would be, while others are wondering how they would buy break, because I was the vice. I had a list. I was the expressway. So break used to pass through me. So I would say, no, Brian, yesterday you are the one who bought. Today, Tom, you buy. I'm just there to tick, break. Then something happened I didn't expect. The beautiful girl, names of beautiful girls, Vanessa, what? Melissa, Angela, Gloria, my friends, first wait, our turn will come. Prosi, it's okay. It wasn't you who chose the name. It's okay. Hey, Baganda, don't overlaugh. That's why you're few on Twitter. No, these are jokes. These are terms and conditions apply. So, next thing I know, Vanessa has been transferred. Her mom worked for UN. Those UN people, 1 minute you are in Mali, the next you are in Benin, where she left. So now, you people, rounding off to the nearest 100, I was next in line. Now, you people, this is why I'm FAWE. There is a point to this story. You see, you can think that you are hard because you have never come face to face with the real challenge. I thought I was unvibable until I came face to face with vibing. My friend, they are sons of God who have words. Woo! Remember, they would tell us in school, not before marriage. This young man walks up to me and says, for me, by the way, you are my wife. I say, this is the marriage they are talking about. One fateful day like this, imagine from vice president, I find myself seated. It was a weekend. There is an interact function. I'm seated there. This guy comes onto the stage. Senior twos, it's their turn. He steps onto the stage. He starts miming. You know those miming things? Over where did the flower come from? Where he had kept it? There's a song, I'm sure, and I said, this is research. Remember one of those songs, commit a crime and I'll be your, how I wish I could be your, so that I could test your. Ah! You think people are wearing suits and they are very, my friend. You wait, you turn up the music, you will know who they are. The guy sang, he pulled out the flower, he pointed at me like this. You people, my immune system got disorganized. The whole night I did not sleep. And you know the chorus of that song? It says, Nasizi Niki Kuwasa. I started seeing myself back in Kaberamaido digging because my father had told me, if you dare. I said, Kotilda, they sent me to study. Now I have made somebody's son to want Nikukuasa. But meanwhile, even the boys also face a challenge because I was told I had a very good time at FAWE. I went to FAWE because I was interested in the matter. This is not one of those money events. I am part of this event because I'm very interested in the girl child, actually. That's how I came to be here. I got a call from FAWE and I said, if it has to do with the girl child, I'll be there. So I am here. But I realized that they're trying to do something as well for the boys because also the boy child is suffering, you people. You know, eh? The same way the girl struggles to go through school, the boy also gets to a point where there is peer pressure. You can't be in senior 3 and you don't have any girl who you are confusing. And so we got to that point where there was you can't be in senior 3 and your voice hasn't started changing, eh? You must start showing signs of being a man. So there was one boy in our class called Brian. This guy, senior 3, his voice, he was a built guy, but his voice had not yet. So he was still speaking with that beautiful, instead of handsome voice. So Brian gets to that point where he has to prove. Remember I said letters were being written and Brian didn't have anyone. He was confusing. So, as a wise man would have it, Brian decided to write himself a letter. You remember those letters? With all the dedications, he wrote himself a powerful letter. Now, when the boys, because they would come, when it is time to receive letters, there was the information prefect who comes and reads the people who have received. They come and read. When they read Brian, all the boys, woo, 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 woo. Brian gets his letter. He starts reading it aloud. Brian, you're the best boy in this class. I can't even imagine anyone else to look like you. All the boys said, no, no, no. And guess what? Because he wanted to prove he was the most, he was now becoming a man. He addressed it from the girl in class who everyone knew is too focused with books. You know, you remember those who came to study and they mean it, eh? The ones who would go and call the teacher when they have delayed. You don't remember those students in class? The one who sits with the duster near her book. The one who, when the teacher says chalk is finished, the teacher, there is this one. You remember those ones? The ones who remind the math teacher to come when he has missed a lesson. Who reminds the math teacher to come? Huh? Those ones. So Brian claimed that that girl had written him a letter. All the boys said, you are lying. You are lying. Now, that girl was so focused that when class would end, she would stay behind, writing her notes on the blackboard, revising seriously. People who came to study. Eh? So the boys went for her. At the end of the prep, they're like, is it true you wrote? First, as soon as she saw them, she said, am I to tell teacher? You guys, they said, no, we just want to know. Is it true you wrote a letter to Brian? The girl starts crying. Me, even I came to study. Me, even, you know, those girls were serious. She starts crying. Now, when the girl started crying, one of the boys said, it seems she's innocent. Only to look at the girl's handwriting and Brian's letter. They realized that they were missing parts in the puzzle. Imagine Brian, once the boys realized that it was a lie, his name stopped being Brian and became self-pollination. To date, even when we are having, Brian does not show up, because when people ask, they say, hey, you people, who has seen self-pollination? As if it has been long since I saw. Now imagine the boy child at this age still being called self-pollination. Both of us are suffering. We must find a way to take each other to school. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I do a project called Queens of Comedy. I started this because I want to mentor. When I started doing comedy, I was the only girl doing comedy amongst a sea of boys. And it was quite an experience having to learn on ground. And because of what I went through, the entertainment industry is a very interesting place. I felt that I didn't want girls to go through that. And so I started mentoring girls in comedy and public speech and all those things. I have a partnership with Naguru Teenage Information Center, so Kano Kalango. So all of you who have something that has to do with girls, I would really love to put my foot in your door and be able to help you out to do some great work. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure being with you at FAWE. Clap like you mean it, my friend. Because now we are going to start collecting money. If you are hungry, you should pull out the money faster. The food is cooling. So allow me to hand over to our hosts for the night. Looking dazzling, my dear. Crystal, as always.
I want to see a world where girls question their fathers why they cheated on their mothers. And they circulate the video. Have we filled the pledge cards? We have pledge cards. Please fill, all right? We are here to collect money. The boy child, CEO of Success Africa, Ethan Mussolini.
Let's give Brian a huge round of applause. He's definitely not a self-pollination guy. I know Manuela. Last time when there was a run, I was there. I spoke for about 2 minutes. One of the things I said, yes, it's true, even boys are vulnerable, but girls are even more vulnerable. I'm from a very humble background myself. My dad died when I was 17 years old. My mom died when I was 9. When I was in senior 5, because I was closer to the university, my dad's friends are the ones who contributed money for me to finish A-levels because he was a tailor. The moment he died, all the income disappeared. And had it not been those people who contributed money and a partial bursary from Barra district, I wouldn't be standing before you here. So someone gave me a chance. Unfortunately, my siblings who were younger did not get that chance. One of those people was my immediate sister. She was in senior 3 because of being around home and no fees and being exposed and vulnerable, some of the things that Susan was talking about here. A mechanic eloped with her. As we speak, she has 5 children, calls me every now and again for support and all that. Very, very bright girl. Very, very bright girl. So it hurts me to see that happen. And that's why when I see FAWE, I'm like, this is the sort of organization I want to partner with, such that someone else's sister does not go through what my sister went through. So, and finally, I bumped into some kids. I was coming from Jinja through Katosi Road. And I saw some kids, they were selling fene, so I stood there. I love fene. Fene is my favorite fruit. And I saw 2 kids. I was like, but it is 11 a.m. What are these kids? So what are you, how come you're not here? I said, we don't have fees to go to school. I discovered that the total for both of them was 180,000 shillings. So like I had some mobile money on me. It was this year, by the way. So I gave it to their elder sister, who had also jumped out of school and had a baby. Gave her money on her mobile money. I believe it was like 180,000, which they were short of for fees. So I said, okay, later call me to talk to your mother to see how I can be of support once you've paid for these kids. So later I called that lady several times. The number was off. So I highly suspect that money disappeared. And it walked me to the idea, Susan, I've never told you this, that thus organizations like FAWE exist because then once you put your money here, it is safe. How many of us have ever sent fees that never reached the final destination? By show of hands. You sent fees and never reached. Put up your hands, be honest. So I'm one of those. Put up your hand, be honest. You sent fees and never reached. Okay, so we are seeing some hands in the room. So we are here to talk about FAWE. Susan kept talking about the bow. Can you contribute something to the bow? So before the fundraising event, before I show you the secret item we are going to fundraise for, we need to warm the bow, the Tom Sawyer bow. Give me some more, please. Turn to him and tell them, the girl child needs some more. Turn to him and tell them, the girl child needs some more. In order to save time, so I need the big bowl here, Maggie. I need the big bowl here. But I need some collectors. Fish girl. By the way, she's a fish girl now. I met her about 10 years ago. I didn't know she was a FAWE product. And someone told me that she was an inspiration. This girl here, by the way, you may not know. Yeah, fish girl, please come. This girl here has inspired thousands and thousands of people. Her story of fish and all that. So when you... Come here, my dear. She has her story. Get close to her. She has inspired thousands and thousands of lives, if not millions. So well done. So just remember that. Now, that bow, in order to save time, because we have so many to reach here, so on each table, at least there is a plate. So please make sure everyone puts something on that plate, because I've been amazed that even 100,000 makes a pays school fees. So put something on the plate, and then some collectors will come and pick from the plate, or you can put it in the baskets. And then I need my magic. Where is my magic bowl? And then that will come, and then we put it in the collection center. So I want to see that magic bowl going around. So this gentleman here, you see. We have a product. As you're collecting item, as you're making an initial, as you're warming up the ED's bow, the Tom Sawyer bow, so that's the Tom Sawyer bow contribution. Please note that we have a special item, a special artistic item that is just minutes away to be completed. This gentleman here started doing art when he was 7 years old, and he's 30 years old now. So for the last 23 years, even though his beards are not 23, don't look like they're 23 years of art full, we have a special art piece that is in the making that will be ready in a few minutes. And not an art piece from online or anywhere. This is a unique art piece that has never existed and will never exist anywhere in the world. 25 years of FAWE. So this gentleman is capturing every event that is happening at FAWE at 25 right now. And that art piece is going to be right here auctioned for payment. Not for payment, for contribution towards educating the girl child. So when that moment comes, so I'll start auctioning the item as it's in motion, but you could give us a sneak peek. So the camera people can give us a sneak peek on what is happening. That's the item so far. If I can get the camera people. So far, this is what's happening, and we are capturing the details. I believe that must be the executive director of FAWE Africa. Where are you? That must be the one. Muhwezi's wife. Yeah, Martha Muhwezi. Is that Martha Muhwezi? Martha Muhwezi, please stand up for recognition. I mean, please stand up. You are a giant of a character, making a difference the whole continent. Let's give her a huge round of applause. And talking about which, I believe, so they talk about that charity begins at home. Friends of Muhwezi, I'm seeing one lady already going there. Now let's go national level. Huntington. I know you didn't expect this. Huntington is the husband to Susan. Now, executive director, Africa. No, Uganda, FAWE, to Susan. Board members. Mwekole mo mulimo. Okay? Board members are here. Those of you who have friends with this board table, come. And I want to hear an announcement, a big announcement from the board chair, from Northern Connection, announcing that as the board members and friends of board, this is what we are putting. Now, friends of Susan, Opok, and Huntington, I want you in this corner. UN agencies, where are they? UNICEF. Can someone whisper in my ears? Brian, please get the mic. UN Women, UNICEF. Who else? Which other UN agencies? UNAIDS. UNFPA. Another UN agency? Okay. Now, this is you what?
EU.
No, EU is not UN.
Munang.
Now that is cross-pollination in action.
That's cross-pollination.
Okay? Now I've understood. Another UN. So, UN, by the way, can we give a round of applause to UN, the UN agencies? They do a lot of work that is not published and publicized enough. They do amazing work quietly, and even their staff are quiet but efficient and effective. Not only are they effective on the ground, but they are also effective in fundraising. So I know they are also going to contribute. So alumni, that corner.
Have you ever seen an alumni denying that they are an alumni? Like, I'm not.
Kabale University.
We have Ndeje.
Busitema, Ndeje,
Mbarara.
Muni, Mbarara.
Utam. Yes.
Okay. All universities, please get another mic. I need your help. All universities, please come here. You're being led by Gulu University. We want to hear universities contributing. We want to hear your announcement of how much you're contributing. Private sector, who should take a lead? And of course, can we give a round of applause to private sector for all the contributions they have made? Stambik, KFM. Let's give them a round of applause. If you want insurance, is here. Yeah. But now, before we insure with you, we want to ensure that the girl child is also insured. For their future is insured. So this man, as you can see, he looks, once you're with him, you are sure that you reach wherever you're. Please stand. He works with you, MP. This is my good friend. There is a group, PKF, for them, just let me first mention those who are not willing to mention the money. They felt that they already have a special arrangement with FAWE, and they believe that they will not mention the monies right now, Susan, but that they have to go back to their partners and the board to announce the amounts. So my assumption is that the amounts are so huge that they don't want to discourage other members. FAWE board, 1 million Uganda shillings, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a little applause. Rapporteurs, please keep taking note. I want to see who is the winning team. The total figure here of the Mwezi family is 1,270,000. Let's give them a little applause. And I know Dr. Mwezi, I know he will even add more, so I'm waiting for you. That is true. That one I refused.
5.2 million.
Fantastic. Let's give them a little applause. Friends of Harrington and Susan, fantastic. Let's give them a little applause. Wow. Is it Oxfam? 2.5 million paid already cash. Those are the they are not a joking subject. From Peace, Uganda, and they promote the education of the girl child. 3 million shillings, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them a little applause. Ladies and gentlemen, in my heart, my prayer was that since we are celebrating 25 years, that we should have someone, some group, I really need this Susan, and the alumni decided to even do better. 30 million Ugandan shillings, ladies and gentlemen. The alumni of FAWE, please stand up for another round of applause.
FAWE oil! FAWE oil!
Fantastic. Pardon me, music in the music song. Start to go back dancing. That is according to Honorable Matende and Honorable, do you have a song? You put a song in some, whatever song. Dance. Wake up. Please. As you come to sing, and even Honorable Matende can show you. You don't dance these ones. Business school. So this MOOCs will be renewing our scholarship. 3 students for 3 years. In total, 9 students. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That's transforming the nation and the world. But not only that, for this dinner, MOOCs is also contributing 500,000 shillings. 1 million shillings they have pledged. And the due date, trust Professor Justin Vash is very specific. 30th November. By then, salary would have come through. So, salary would have come through. Justin always plans ahead. Very organized.
ARC Agricultural Company is one of the companies in this country that is proud of FAWE for the wonderful job they have done. FAWE, thank you so much for the good job. The point is one, Agricultural Company has already made a contribution toward this dinner of 2.5, and in partnership with FAWE, who have done for the last 25 years, we've been working with them. We're a transport company, a car hire, car rental company, safari company. For those who are in qualities, who are in trouble, here we are. We are adding another 1 million shillings to be paid on the 15th of November. Thank you very much.
Alumni, please come. Where is my fish girl? If the fish girl is not here, I want to be happy. Martha Moezi, as the CEO of FAWE Africa, surely you have to be here because Uganda is one of the countries under your care, so to speak. Let's welcome is there like a congratulations song or something to celebrate it? Oh, the art piece. You need to give the art piece to the EDs and the chairperson. Who is it? Oh, the chairperson. So the ED, Susan, you need to hand over the chairperson. Okay? So thank you for contributing a special thing to this world. And another huge applause to the alumni. Yes? Okay. And a huge round of applause to yourselves! Because you contributed this money. Oh, by the way, the rapporteurs, we need to know the exact amount we've received total. Maggie, I need to know the total we've received because everyone contributed. And if you feel inspired, please, you can always reach out and contribute to FAWE. You're sowing in rich ground. And thank you so much.
I stand to ride on the existing protocol. On behalf of the alumni body and on my own behalf, we are very thankful to FAWE for all that it has done for us. And on that note, I request that we hand over this back to FAWE RS. Regional Secretariat.
Brian, they are saying my son should come and hold this.
Yeah, thank you so much to the alumni. These are our daughters. I'm sure Florence, you're smiling down there. Because these are just among the few girls that have gone through FAWE. And thank you for giving back. Not everybody gives back.
but will make us proud. And thank you so much. And some sons for me. Thank you so much.
All right, let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as they're going out. I can see Susan is smiling.
The pledge is 45,970,000. MOOCs, 9 students, 3 per year. Raffle tickets, 1,230,000. The bowel of the ED was 400,000 Uganda shillings. So, ladies and gentlemen, according to the mental math that my dad taught me, already this is over 47 million shillings. Collect, pledged cash and everyone. So give yourselves a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for doing this amazing. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And we thank God for this, because one life transforms the world. God bless.
Thank you, Ethan. Thank you very, very much.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 things to do, and we are going to do them under 15 minutes.
Yes.
First, we have people who have worked with us for such a long time. 25 years is so long, but they are here up to this day.
Yes, indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, FAWE Uganda would like to award a number of personalities here, as well as organizations who have supported FAWE Uganda over the years. So we do have some special plaques and tokens of appreciation to hand over. In the interest of keeping time, because we are really running late, we will just announce the names and they will be delivered to you, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll start off with the donors. We'll start off with UN Women, the Embassy of Ireland, Irish Aid, UNICEF, Kenny Family, MasterCard Foundation, Mr. Forberg, MTN Uganda, Wellsprings Philanthropic Fund, US Embassy, European Union, FAWE Regional, I think, as well as Makerere University Business School. Thank you for your support over the last 25 years.
Right, we have the founding board led by Honorable Ruth Kavuma. Thank you so much. Also Professor Maria Musoke, Ms. Florence Mutonyi, Ms. Victoria Sarali. I saw her here. She's at the back. Ms. Florence Malinga, Ms. Jane Ochaya, Ms. Priscilla Pande, Ms. Margaret Kikam Mpikaho, Dr. Jane Mulemwa, the founder of FAWE, Ms. Naomi Muhanguzi, and Ms. Ansel Sipio Galiwanko.
Yes, round of applause for them. And we have some FAWE Uganda founding members as well. Ms. Julie Agum, Ms. Florence Kayaye, Ms. Phoebe Chelwayanda, Ms. Christina Makumbi. Please forgive me if I don't say the names right. Professor Joy Kwesiga, Professor Mary Okwakol, Ms. Rose Izizinga, Ms. Margaret Atim Mugeni as well.
Yes, and also we have former executive directors, Ms. Florence Kanyike, Ms. Martha Mwezi, Christine Semango Sempewa. Thank you so much. But we also have some really distinguished guests who have worked with us all this time. Professor John Sewufu, also Honorable Miriam Matembe with the glasses. She has gold, eh? Okay.
You wanted her glasses, eh?
Yes. Honorable Amanya Moshenga, who is now heading the education committee. Ms. Rhoda Kalema, Lady Justice Julia Sabutinde, Ms. Camille Alike, Honorable Joyce Panga, the Master of Fundraising, Ethan Mussolini, and Maureen Tweyongire, Dr. Martin Alike.
Now, we would like to hear from our chief guest. So we would like to invite Ms. Angela Nakafero to join us now, the Commissioner for Women and Gender from the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, representing our chief guest. And just before you make your remarks, it will be an honor if you pick our 2 raffle winners. The winner of a weekend for 2 at Garuga Country Resort is 147. Do we have 147 here with us. Now how this works is if you're not here, we pick another one. Until we get a winner here now. So do we have 147 here? Going once, going twice, gone. Okay, we're moving to the next number. Ticket number 75, as in 0075. 0075, ticket 0318. Do we have 0318? Yay! Congratulations to you. Round of applause for our winner. We shall definitely sort you out.
What does she win?
A weekend for two at Garuga Country Resort. Yes, okay. And the winner of a weekend for two at Brevard Sands in Kalangala. Are you ready? Are you feeling lucky? Are you really feeling lucky tonight? Okay. 0047. Huh?
He has come.
Why are you saying no?
He has come for the room key.
We shall organize that.
Yes, sir. Was your neighbor? You're such an honest man.
Oh, so you're going to give it to him? But he trusted you. Okay, you are here. So congratulations to him. Thank you.
I really hope you are the angel at the gates of heaven.
The founder members of FAWE Uganda, the board of FAWE Uganda, the partners of FAWE Uganda, our keynote speaker tonight, distinguished members of FAWE, ladies and gentlemen and friends. Thank you very much for joining us at this dinner where we fundraise for FAWE Uganda, but specifically so for the young girls and young women who are interested in pursuing their right to education. I'm privileged to be part of this, and I would like to say congratulations to everybody. Congratulations for the 25 years of existence. Congratulations for contributing to gender equality. Congratulations for championing girls' education in Uganda. Beautiful stories, beautiful experiences have been shared. We've all heard. And today, we are being called upon to contribute to more beautiful experiences and stories towards girls' education in Uganda. As we celebrate the 25 years, as we celebrate our milestones in delivering education, ladies and gentlemen, we are kindly reminded that we still have wider gender gaps in terms of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics faculty fields of studies, but also in terms of subjects. We are called upon to contribute more such that we can see bridging the gap between boys and girls, men and women, in terms of science and technology, in terms of the digital transformation of this country, and thank you very much for the contribution, ladies and gentlemen. As we support the 2,000 girls and boys into education, I would like to make an appeal that let's mentor them to live responsible lives to ensure that they contribute to national development. I would like to reiterate that Government of Uganda is committed to education. Government of Uganda is committed to the delivery of gender equality and women's empowerment, and we can only change the country at large where we have gender equality and women's empowerment. I would like to thank the men and boys in our midst. Thank you very much for joining the cause. I would also like to thank everybody who has contributed to this dinner. I would like to thank the Secretariat of FAWE Uganda for the wonderful mobilization. The room was full. We've enjoyed the dinner, and we think that this is very, very important to us. As we get back to our homes, ladies and gentlemen, I appeal to you, let's mobilize the young generation to take on education as a right. Let's also mobilize men and boys to support girls' empowerment in this country. I would like to thank you very much for listening to me. I would like to thank you for all the contribution. Together we stand. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8,